that's like just straight up lying.
People will really appreciate that more.
We don't demonize them for saying that it's mime.
Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? I'm Justin Hornbach back from my practice dojo and welcome to today's video. Today I have a really special video coming up because I'm thinking for a while now about one topic: how to end the fake guitar problem. Currently, our guitar world is flooded by fake guitar players who cannot fulfill the expectation of a live sounding instrument. On a certain level, this can be a huge problem not only for the guitar industry, but also for upcoming motivated young guitar players. And to talk about this, I invited Jacobras Records to my YouTube channel. Jacob from Jacobras Records is currently one of the biggest YouTuber when it comes to debunking fake guitar players. And I wanted to have a little talk and discussion about exactly this topic. But not only how we can end the fake guitar drama, but also we talk about the problems when a lot of people are faking their guitar playing and pretending to be it's live, but it's not live. How this can have a negative effect not only on the industry, but also on individual artists who are performing guitar players. And also, again, as I mentioned, the consumer, because a lot of guitar players are straight up lying to them. This was a really interesting talk with some really interesting thoughts about this, with some really interesting perspectives from somebody who's debunking fake guitar players, confronted with somebody like I am, who used to mime in the past, who used to pre-record, who used to post-record and edited stuff and all these kind of things. So this is a super interesting talk. I would love to hear your opinion on our solution or our proposal for a solution on how to end all of this. So I highly recommend to watch this video to the end, because also this is the best way how you can support not only Jacob's channel, my channel, or this channel, or this video in general. I know 1 hour can be quite long, so grab your guitar, grab a beer, grab a tea, coffee, something to eat or whatever, and enjoy this 1 hour long discussion about these topics. The longer you watch this video, the more you're supporting it, and this is really important in times where we all have to stand against this annoying thing called the algorithm, which in the end is the root of all evil, in my opinion. Alright, before I go into the video, I also want to tell that there will be coming a second part, not about the topic of faking guitar and debunking fake guitar players, but about faking sounds, faking IRs, faking amps, and how secret AI tools in modern amp companies is ruining the guitar business. More about that soon on this channel, so you better subscribe now if you haven't yet. And again, let me know in the comments what you think about fake guitar players and our solution on this. Now, let's get into the video. Here we go. Welcome, Jacob. Welcome to my channel. Glad to have you here for this little interview slash conversation about faking guitar, debunking fake guitar players, and the stuff that is happening and that is going on your YouTube channel. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So, thanks for having me. Yeah, I've watched your stuff for a little bit now, actually.
Alrighty.
I think I found you like a year ago. And I don't know, can you hear this at all?
Oh yeah,
that little lick, I definitely don't have it down, but that was I was trying to get that down because I was trying to practice some more shreddy licks that wasn't just like a regular, just like little normal scale run, right? So when he reached out to me, I was like, oh, that's cool. It's like, that's the guy that I was trying to learn the little shred from.
Yeah, maybe you can show me how to fake it. Yeah, well, I know how to fake it. Yeah, I saw your stuff. I saw your videos for a while now because, yeah, your videos currently are going through the guitar community, into the guitar scene quite well. I mean, I think the biggest one of yours have now reached the 1 million view mark on your channel. 37,000 subscribers, I believe, something like that. And yeah, it's YouTube stuff doing well quite recently, right?
Yeah, it's been taking off, and there's I have a lot of theories about that.
And I really like the approach that you are using in your videos, that you're really going into detail to figure out, okay, what are some guys are playing or not playing, and you're really, really analytic about this. And I really like this kind of approach. So I thought, like, okay, I would like to interview you and to get you on my channel to talk about especially these kind of things, because I think that is kind of an urgent, but also kind of really really interesting topic for the guitar community and really important topic for the guitar community. But first, let's go a little bit into who you are and what in the end leads you to, or what was the motivation that led you to thinking like, okay, I have to talk about this. I have to analyze this and have to share it with the guitar community. So guide us a little bit through that. What in the end brought you to make these kind of videos?
Yeah. So I guess where it really started, you know, Davin Glover. Remember that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I made a video about him 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. So Davin Glover. He was kind of the thing that kind of sparked it all. I know a lot of people saw Buried Alive back in the day, and they, you know, that was the big one for them. And I toured with Charles and Buried Alive way back.
Oh, really?
So I saw, yeah. So like right when he started putting out those videos, I was already following him. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what he's doing. He's doing this like video game music. I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. And I really didn't think much about it. And then I saw a bunch of people hating on him, and I was like, you know, I kind of had that same mindset that a lot of people in my comments have. I was like, well, duh, don't you already know that it's fake? It's like,
yeah.
For the first video I saw, I knew it was fake. You know what I mean? But I never thought any different. I was like, well, of course it's fake. We all know that, right? So I had that mindset, which a ton of people in my comments do. I totally get that. And that's going to be kind of like a theme of something that we talk about today, I think, is hindsight bias. That, you know, once you've already learned something, you have this bias about it. Well, of course, that's the way it is. But that's because you already know that. You know that now. Before this, you didn't have that bias. Now you have this bias. So anyways, I had the hindsight bias with Charles. You know, I was just like, of course, everybody knows this. But then my friend sent me a video of Davin Glover on Instagram. He sent me just like a little reel. And I messaged him back. It was a buddy of mine that plays drums. He's not a guitar player. And he used to play in like metal bands alongside like my metal bands and stuff. And so I was like, bro, you know, that's not real, right? And he's like, because it was very much, the video that he sent me was very much presented as real. It looked like a kid in front of a computer, like in his bedroom, and what you're hearing is him playing his guitar through like an amp sim, and you're hearing it coming out of his speakers. That's what you think. You're like, okay, he's just sitting there playing guitar in front of, you know. And no, it's like it's totally pre-recorded. And I was like, I feel like my friend does not realize this. Let me just tell him, because it's not presented that way. And what is his response? His response is, I don't care. I like the music. So I'm like, okay. And of course, that's what I've gotten a lot in my comments. You know, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of who cares, make music, there's no rules. So there's another side of it. You know, there's like the site bias side of it. There's also this side of it where it's like, who cares, you know? And I get that. I get the multiple arguments. But I then, like maybe like a month later or something like that, the algorithm fed me another one of Davin's videos, right? And which one did it feed me? It fed me the one where he goes, hey, you guys were saying my video was fake, so I made this raw DI, you know, so you guys could hear, here's my raw DI. And it was totally, you know, an edited DI. It wasn't raw at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, that's like just straight up lying. You're not just hiding the truth anymore. You're straight up blatantly lying to everyone. And so many people believed it, you know, in the comments. You know, people in the comments were like, yo, those are just your haters. It's like, dude, he's lying to you right now. And I grew up, I would say, with like believing in something that I very much do not believe anymore. And I feel like when I was young, I was kind of deceived, I guess, into believing this thing. And I changed so much of my life and put so much restrictions on my life because of this thing I was deceived about. And I think that is part of what has led me to being like, I really don't like when people lie. It really irks me, and I want to be like look, this person's lying. Don't believe that. And I think it's just this deep rooted kind of how I was, how I was raised and what my early life was like. So that is kind of like a little bit of the psychology behind it for me. I think is just when I see somebody lie, I don't like it. And I generally, if I have a friend that's like believing somebody who's lying, I'm going to tell that friend like, hey, this person's lying. So I had this idea. I saw this DI video and I noticed something. I like was analyzing it. I was just like looking at it closely. And then I saw it and I saw him, what was it? I think it was that there was like it's been so long since I did it. I think it was a year ago, but he like strummed like the low string and then he like tapped some other stuff.
Yeah.
But then we heard that like the low string like got immediately cut off. Like it was edited off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh dude, you can see it ringing out, but we don't hear it at all. Like that's blatant proof right there. And so I told the vocalist of my band this idea. I was like, I had this idea for this video concept, but we're in a band together. And he's a more successful YouTuber than I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a pretty big name. He's got like 130,000 subscribers, something like that.
Oh, wow.
His other channel with 𝙬𝙬𝙙𝗫𝙀 has like 300,000 subscribers or something.
Is he that Dicky guy or what's his name again? Ah, all right.
Austin.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I didn't know that. Great.
Yeah. So I love him. He's a great dude. And that's why I wanted to run it by him. I'm like, dude, I don't want to put these out and have it, reflect badly on you. And he's like, so I just want to talk to you about it first. He's like, no, dude, if you have proof, I think it's going to be like good videos. I think it's like people are going to eat that up. So he's like, no, like if you have proof that it's fake, I don't see the harm in it. You're not just getting online. And this is one thing that a lot of people confuse my content with. You're not just getting online and talking shit. That's not what you're doing. Yeah. You're not here just talking smack and just say, this guy sucks. Boo-hoo, this music sucks, blah, blah, blah. No, you're just saying like, look, this is a lie. This is the truth. You make up your own decision. So that's really kind of the way that I tried to go about it is, music has this like personal preference. So it's like, of course, there's going to be people in my comments that are like, this music sucks.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. That's like totally besides the point to me. It's like, to me, that's not even the point. If anything, it diminishes the point because it's like, that's not what my video is about. Don't come on my video and just talk shit. I mean, it's fine, but that's really not the point. And it just kind of degrades the whole point of the whole thing. So,
yeah, because from what I've seen, for example, I mean, we had these kind of things in the past, and I would say we had like 4 big waves of debunking guitar players. When I remember correctly, like 10 years ago, no, it should be like 2016 or something like that, there were some guitar competitions where there were guitar players who are obviously having guitar profiles in the videos, or like Rings of Saturn back in the day, known for using guitar profiles in the video, where Levi Clay, a YouTuber back then, was reported about that. And then in 2019, that was kind of a really interesting phase where Jared Dines, for example, made this whole video about faking guitars together with Jack Gardner, Tom Geldschläger. That was kind of interesting because he accused Manuel Gardner-Fernandez of faking. And I know Manuel since for 15 years now. His and his band Unprocessed, all of them, they used to be students of mine and we're living in the same city, etc. So I kind of got the backlash and everything that happened around it, in person, because I've seen him a couple of weeks after that, and that was kind of a really interesting phase because I was not so much into YouTube back then as a YouTuber by myself, more like as a consumer. And then I would say like the third wave was earlier in 2025 with the whole Giacomo Turra thing going on, where it was not only about faking guitar playing, but also stealing, of course, the stuff that he was doing, where Danny Zepko, I think, was it who brought that up. And then you, like, as the big 4th wave right now, together with some other YouTubers like Sore Hands and all these kind of guys. Do you have, like, are you in contact with the other guys who are also doing similar kind of content right now, or are you aware of them? Are you having like communication, or is it just whole separately?
Manuel, Unprocessed, played the venue that I run sound at,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked the show.
Ah, really?
And that was 2 years ago, I
Mhm.
believe.
Ah, nice.
Two or so. So it was before I made these videos.
Yeah.
As before I was kind of, you know, passionate about this idea of miming guitarists and everything.
Mhm.
So it was before I was even paying attention to that. I was just watching him and just going, oh, that guy's pretty crazy at guitar. I didn't even think twice about it, but I did see him live.
Mhm.
And, you know, if I can remember watching some singers live that I literally saw them using like they would turn down the vocal and then turn up a backtrack vocal.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I've literally seen that.
I mean, we had this in the guitar community as well when speaking again of Rings of Saturn, who had like this in front of house, like the guitar arpeggio played and all these kind of things. I mean, didn't you make a video about this as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about the 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢 video that, you know, Jared had to backpedal on.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, you shouldn't have even backpedaled because it's legitimate. I legitimately think Jared was right in that specific case.
In some players. I mean, he talked about Stephen Taranto, and Stephen Taranto is one of the truest.
Specifically about Lucas Mann, I think he was right. I'm not sure about the other ones. I haven't researched the other ones, but just specifically Lucas, I think that he was correct. I didn't even know that he mentioned Jack Gardner in that video.
No, I didn't. I don't know. Jack Gardner was one of the persons from the Wave where people talked about it. It was like 3 specific persons: Tom Geldschläger, Jack Gardner, and Jared Dines, who made like this wave about talking about this. Because that was the first time where those Instagram players really are popping up back in 2019, and it was like these content creators talking about that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. What was the question? One more time.
No, it was just that if you have contact together with
contact. Right.
Other thing, yeah.
Yeah, I have. So I've chatted with Charles Caswell a little bit. Sorry, you were asking about sore hands.
No, but this is also a good question. If you have contact with Devin and Charles Caswell and all these people there.
Right. So right after I made the video about Davin hit me up in my DMs and he was talking, and Davin immediately told me, hey, dude, it's just a noise gate. So the reason that you don't hear the low string ringing out, but you hear the other strings ringing out is because there's a noise gate. And I told him, I said, hey, buddy, I have a degree in audio. That's not how a noise gate works. And you know that. And I know that both. So don't try and convince me of that, because we both know that's not how one works. But other than that, other than him trying to stick to the lie, he's been really almost like nice about the whole thing, I guess. And he'll like watch and like my content sometimes. And he's been the most chill about the whole thing. Which is interesting because other people have not, which it's totally fine. Totally get it.
I mean, some people, they can make a usage out of this as well because it's polarizing, and polarizing always can have a good effect on your community and on your fans. And it's kind of the same thing that happens with Manuel back in the day, because again, the accusation of not being able to play that live, and he went on tour right after that before COVID happened to show everybody, hey, I can play it live. And this kind of strengthened up the community, of course. And I mean, my video about Devin, I didn't kind of debunk Devin's playing, because one of the first things that I said in the video was like, hey, it's fake. Everybody who sees this and hears this should know it's fake. I'm more worried about the people who think that this is real than the people who think this is fake. I was more talking about the style in the end and about new modern guitar players and trying to get some of his kind of ideas, because some ideas, technically wise, I kind of like, with the scratching with the palm and including that into some speed picking runs, like the mixture out of a fake Tom Morello and some 80s shred lines, all these kind of things. And the comments were kind of full with, you fucking boomer, you don't know what you're talking about, I love it. Or the other way around, like, oh, this new music sucks, etc. And it kind of did not really, they missed a little bit of what I was talking in the video. Some people where I thought like, okay, have you even seen the video? Because I did not talk bad about Devin there. But yeah, what I want to say is that good friend of mine is his kind of management, and he told me like he's actually super chill and super cool about these kind of things, and
Yeah.
that one important thing is he does not see it as guitar playing. He sees himself more as a beat producer or like doing this kind of
Okay.
trap music and this kind of context. But about the context and all this we're going to talk about later a little bit more. But before we are going into what happens to some other of those fakers that you've debunked, is I want to talk about the levels of faking that we have out there for the viewers who don't know what guitar miming or guitar faking and pre-recording it. So maybe guide us a little bit through that. What kind of levels do we have, or different kind of levels of fake guitar do we have in social media popping up?
Yeah, the interesting about the different levels of fakery is everybody kind of has their own Levi McLean put it really well. It was like it was something about permissibility, like the line of permissibility. It had to do with the fact that, like, you know, there's these different levels of fakery and what we accept, and it's all kind of like this personal thing that we decide, okay, this is too far, you know, but this is okay, but this is too far. And I find that really interesting because that's like a personal thing. To me, what is not okay and is, you know, just too far on that line might be okay to you, or vice versa. So there's like, if you try and think about like how the miming thing started, it started with like music videos, right?
Yeah.
They kind of realized, they were like, well, recording the audio and making it look cool visually is a nightmare, because the things to make it look cool visually, putting microphones and stuff gets in the way, and then they pick up the sound of like equipment and stuff, and, you know, cameras moving around. There's just all these different things, and then the people have to play perfectly, or then you have to get another take, and then the video people have to go perfect. There's just so many logistics to it, right? So it made sense that they're like, okay, music videos, we're gonna mime these. And most of the time in music videos, it's pretty blatant. You know, you got somebody with their guitar not even plugged in on the side of a cliff or something with no amp behind them, you know. So that is like, to me, it's like, okay, I think the vast majority of people are like, yes, that's fake, we don't care. And then you move up a level and you get to like guitar playthroughs and bass playthroughs. Okay. And there's kind of two different versions of those. There's the guitar and bass playthroughs that look like a music video.
Yeah.
They have multiple angles, camera movement, like it was clearly filmed by a videographer, not by the guitar player. And, you know, there's good lighting, or there's, you know, there's effects, or there's stuff to make it visually entertaining. And then there's other guitar playthroughs, bass playthroughs, that are the complete opposite, and it looks like they have their, you know, phone just propped up, and their guitars coming through their speakers raw, and they're just playing along with the song raw.
Yeah.
And in those situations, people are going to assume that's what's happening. You're hearing just that real raw guitar. And that's where the real gray area lands. But there's really like an even further level. There's a couple even further levels that we can get to. And I usually cover that kind of gray area there. But the further levels that get worse is like, then, like, let's say you did mime your playthrough that looked like it wasn't mimed, that looked like it was live. It looked like a live video, but it was actually mimed. The next level would be telling your audience, no, that was real, blatantly lying to them. That would be a step up, Davin.
Yeah.
And then a step up from that. And also, I think Buried Alive kind of gets in there a little bit with how he kind of like argues people in the comments.
He also once made a video about raw DI signals, where I always thought like, nah, it's not really real. Like in 2019, when all of this started, I think he also made like one of those videos. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I would like to see that, because I do find that interesting. I think, yeah, and he kind of, you know, he just like claps back without just, the best response obviously is to just play it.
Yeah.
You get on and then you play it raw. You show them, hey, look, yeah, there's little mistakes, but here's me actually playing it. Look, I can play it. That's the best response. But then, you get somebody like Charles that puts up this weirdly worded long video where he's just talking to the camera and it sounds like an AI script.
Yeah, I remember.
That doesn't look good. That's a step up in a bad way. Versus just playing it live. Like, you should leave the video up and move on. Like he had that live NAMM video. It's like, just leave that up and move on. Don't even make this weird worded response video. So that's a step up. Another step up, I think, would be doing it live, where you're just straight up faking you're playing live, and that shit is backtracked. Like Lucas Mann or something, where you're not even hearing his real guitar. That's probably. No, there's one worse.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's one worse. You actually can't play guitar.
Ah, yeah.
And it's like, and you're just like air guitar, and it's like fake or something.
Or like even one level worse, which happened recently with the AI woman pretending to play guitar and taking audio footage of a different guitar player. Yeah.
Dude, Sophie Burrell, Sophie?
Yeah, I made a video about that last week. Yeah, about.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah. Because I thought, like, oh, God damn it, she was picking above the strings, and people are still commenting like, oh, you're so talented and you're so gorgeous, and of course I will, add you to my OnlyFans stuff, and oh God, because of course in the end it leads to AI porn, which leads to making money for some dude in some basement somewhere in, I don't know. Yeah. It's just terrible.
It's probably just some dude just working the magic. Yeah, that's just interesting. Yeah, bringing AI into it, and there's some interesting stuff we could talk about with AI in guitar.
Yeah,
AI is involved in guitar. It is huge in guitar right now, actually.
Yeah.
You probably use an AI plugin. I use an AI plugin. Probably 95% of guitar players out there use an AI plugin.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neural DSP, neural networks. They use AI.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, that's something for later of the video when we're talking about the
we can talk about
the plugin stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But I think that's a really good point that you made to say, okay, it's like an individual thing where to cross the line. I mean, people know that I have more like a liberal kind of opinion when it comes to faking. I faked in the past. I mimed in the past. I'm truly honest about this. I once made a video about this where I talked exactly where I faked. Like, for example, where I played a live jam and I fucked up one bending. And of course, afterwards, I just recorded that bending new, just for that kind of sake. But for me, really important was always the labeling. And I think that is the thing where I'm crossing the line.
That's what I left out. Yeah.
Yeah, because saying it is, as you said, lying to the people, saying it is live, even though it's not live, that is something which I don't like at all as well. And I think with labeling, that could be going into a direction where we can talk later about some solutions for this kind of issues and that kind of problem. It's just to being honest. Because for me, there's only one person where I have to prove myself that I can play guitar, and that's myself. And I know what I can do and I know what I can't do. And there are so many live videos of me out there, and there's videos of me out there mimed. I mimed a little bit more back in the past. Nowadays, I don't want to do it too much anymore.
Nice.
Because I think the labeling is quite important there.
And that's something that I forgot to mention in the levels we were talking about, is like how 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙀 labeled the clearly pre-recorded videos live performance. That definitely is somewhere in the levels. Yeah. It's pretty high in the levels.
And I think like the collateral damage of these kind of things and the backlash, they can be quite big, because when you're labeling something live, the people are also expecting that it will sound like this in a live situation, in a live scenario. And I think it's much, much more truthful and absolutely fine when you have certain things recorded with, compression, with noise gate, or with, highly edited guitars. And then, live, it does not sound 100% like this. As soon as the people know, okay, that one is the studio recorded version, that's the live version, because there is no band out there who sounds 100% like on the studio, and that's absolutely fine. For me, that is one of the reasons why I want to go on live concerts, to get that experience of being human, you know?
Agreed. Yeah.
And I think when you say this is how it should sound live, and it's not live, you build up that, how do you call it? Where you can fall down that kind of thing where, the expectation is so high for you. And I think this is odd. Yeah, I think maybe this is probably where Ichika did his mistake, I would say. Because when he's playing the stuff live, he recently just put out some videos playing the stuff live or not. I saw your video about this kind of one live channel. And but people are commenting under this like, okay, you're just like an okay-ish guitar player. Nobody would have done that before, when he would clearly label these things as live and not live.
Yes, that is a great point. Exactly. And that's the thing. If he just would have put out videos like he just put out with his real playing, he just wouldn't be as big as he is right now, because he would fall into the category of most guitar players, rather than falling into this category of being better than most guitar players. And it's not to say that he's bad. He's just, he's just not that virtuoso level that that a lot of people believed.
Yeah. For a pretty long time, I really respected for these kind of things Martin, because with Martin, or better saw, hence don't watch this video, but with Martin, I always knew, okay, these videos, they are performing videos, and it's not how it sounds live. Live, he comes pretty close to what he's doing. Of course, not every note has the same kind of volume like in the studio versions, and it's not 100% tight, of course, but that's super normal for me, and it still works. I've seen Martin live here in '1, Germany, and in some different occasions. He's also kind of a really cool guy, but when he tried to prove that some of his videos is not fake, that was again the point where, like, why do you have to say that with something that is obviously pre-recorded, because you have again the same trademarks, the same volume in every note, all these kind of things. And
dude, with Martin, I genuinely believe that he did that on purpose. I genuinely believe he did that because he knew it would get traction. He knew it was obvious that it was fake, and that people in the comments were gonna be like, oh, what are you talking about? This is fake. And it was just going to cause so much attention to him. Yeah. I genuinely believe that, because I also, like you, believe that he is a fantastic guitar player. He is really good, and can play his stuff. If anything, he's dumbing down his playing for his songs. You know what I mean? Because he's making these songs that are really digestible for like the majority of people. Like, he's capable of playing really crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But then he's going doop 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 doop.
Yeah, definitely. But let's talk a little bit about what happened to some of those fake guitar players, because I think, or kind of what kind of backlash this faking can have for them. And I think one of the biggest backlash for a certain artist had to do with one of your biggest video, with the King of Shred, or like X King of Shred, or what his name is. Today I tried to look him up on Instagram. I couldn't find him. Could it be that he kind of disappeared from social media, or was I too dumb to find him?
I don't think it was either of those things. I think that means that he blocked you.
Oh, okay, could be. Maybe he knows with what kind of guys I'm dealing with. So yeah.
Have you tried? Let me see if I can.
Because one of my really good friends is Six String TV, and he made a big video about him stealing guitars as well. And maybe he saw me in one of his videos, and then he blocked me or something like that.
𝗘𝙗, right?
𝗘𝙗, yeah, 𝗘𝙗.
Yeah. 𝗘𝙗 and I have talked here and there on Instagram. But 𝗘𝙗's video was what made me want to make the King of Shred video.
Okay.
I watched 𝗘𝙗's video, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And I was like, it's even crazier. This guy totally fakes it. I've seen him fake it so many times, and nobody's talking about it. Everybody's just talking about him stealing the guitars, but nobody's talking about the fact that he's faking his stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try to make, a video about, like, well, he's also doing this. But I want to see real quick. Yeah. So dude, I just did an incognito browser on Chrome, and I searched up King of Shred, and yeah, he still has his.
Then he blocked me. All right.
Yeah, exactly. He blocked me too, of course. Yeah, he's got like 43,000 followers right now.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And he posted a video. Oh, it won't let me watch it without logging in. But
so he's still active. I mean, okay,
he's still doing it.
I mean, I'm asking myself, like, okay, how can you?
I don't know, dude. How did he recover from it, right?
Yeah, how do you recover from this? And I think you already made a really good kind of assumption, or like a really good kind of idea, just to play it live and to not talk too much about this. Don't make any weird excuse videos or trying to justify yourself. I think that's what Manuel and Process were doing. They're just playing it live afterwards, and
beautiful comeback.
Yeah, and to make it, I think you make it even worse when you try to justify it and you try to explain yourself, and then getting more and more into lies. It's a little bit kind of reminds me of politics here and there, when politicians get fucked up and then they're trying to justify themselves and they're lying more and more, blaming others and all these kind of things. So kind of reminds me of that. And I think that is probably like the worst thing that you can do in these kind of scenarios, in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and keep that kind of political mindset out of our music space, please.
I know, of course.
We don't want that deception and shit. So yeah, and that's a big part of it, keeping the deception out. There's some people that just are like, we'll just carry on, move on.
Yeah.
And that's how we live in like a fake world where everything's fake around us because nobody cares, and it's like, no, we don't want to live in that. We want to believe things are real. If we like something, it's because we're like, oh, we genuinely like it. It's not because we've been tricked into liking it.
I mean, on the other hand, we are all tricked all the time from the music business. I mean, I know from live DVDs from some of my favorite bands where I later on realized, oh, they were re-recording stuff, re-recording the vocals, re-recording some guitar stuff. Because, from one of my favorite guitar players, I was always wondering why the solo sound all of a sudden changed so much in a certain solo, and then I later saw an old footage of a phone, realizing, oh, he fucked up that part and he just re-recorded it and all these kind of things. So kind of I don't know, but I can understand it in a way, because in a live scenario is always difficult and so many things can happen in a live scenario. So you want to have that backup plan when you have like a big filming company and everything. You have to invest a lot of budget for that. So I kind of understand that there, but it leads me to sorry.
Oh, I just find that it's like an interesting that's like gray area to me. Because that DVD you're talking about, like DVDs of bands live, right? Like Slipknot live or something. That's like gonna live forever. It's kind of like what we do in the studio, where we make it sound perfect in the studio. There are no rules in the studio. And it's interesting with like a live show like that. It's a huge festival show. I don't know. To me, I would want the real live recording, even with the mess ups.
Yeah.
But I could see being in that position of like, oh man, my guitar is out of tune for this song. Do we really want to put this on the DVD?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting area of like, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's questionable.
Yeah.
If I saw him live, hands down, I would want to hear the mess up.
Well, maybe that's the next thing. These guys, these bands, they are touring. You can see them live. You can see them in the live situation. An Instagram guitar player, you probably are not able to see, or you don't get the chance to see them in the live scenario, which leads to the next kind of question: what kind of bad impact can have this kind of fake social media thing have on the guitar industry itself? Now, especially with, for example, somebody like Giacomo, who had a lot of sponsorship deals and getting a lot of money for his videos by faking guitar and taking stuff from other guitar players. What kind of impact, in your thoughts and your kind of beliefs, can this have on the guitar industry? I mean, I'm thinking about, especially, putting the expectations so high for the new guitar player, the next guitar players, all these kind of things, creating this kind of fake world, like with with body, you know, with all the models and everybody, you know, the girls who are thinking they want to get body like those, you know, women on Instagram, but it's all kind of not really natural and real. That the perception is so fake nowadays, and
yeah, I think. Okay, so I think you got to think about something like Spiro, Spiro Odysseus. Him and I message as well.
Great guy, great player.
And we're planning on doing a video together, which is
nice,
gonna be really fun.
Awesome.
He told me that when you see one of his clips on Instagram, it is like, I mean, think about how short they are for one thing. They're usually really short clips. And he's been playing, what he told me is he's been playing, you know, he might have been playing that for 30 minutes. So he's playing this over and over and over again. And then there's that one little clip where it sounds really, really good. And that's the clip that you're hearing on Instagram. It doesn't mean that he's dishonest. It's just the fact that it proves two things. One, it's like, it's possible. It's humanly possible. You can actually do it. It's actually attainable. But you're not going to do it first try.
No, you don't see all the work behind it. Yeah.
Right. You don't see the work behind it. And we don't really know that he's been recording for 30 minutes. We could, you know, you could think, oh, he just clicked on and, you know, he tried it 3 times and that was his 3rd try, you know? So there is kind of like, I don't know. It's so interesting how the psychology of it all and us trying to figure out the psychology of it really. I think that, you know, watching something like Spiro is entertaining because you know it's real and you know it's possible. You don't really think like maybe you think you could get there, but you know that he's at such a level that you're not really going to get there, but you could get something similar. And to me, that's cool. I've watched Spiro and I've been like, dude, I need to work on my economy picking. Like he is economy picking G, right? He's so good at it. I'm going to work on it because I watched him. And this is the argument that people will make for these fake mime guitar players like 𝙗𝙗𝗚. They'll say, oh, well, now the next generation is just going to try and sound like 𝙗𝙗𝗚. It's going to push them further. They're never going to sound like that. They can't physically sound like that. The sound of no transition from one chord to the next, physically impossible. There's nothing you can do to make it sound like that. The only thing you can do is edit it in a computer to chop that note one right after the other. So there's no transition between the notes.
Yeah.
Literally, the only way that these new guitar players will be able to achieve that sound is by faking it like 𝙗𝙗𝗚. So Kian, your whole concept, Kian, I'm talking to you, Kian 𝙗𝙗𝙗. The whole concept of this is going to push these next guitar players further. It's going to push them further into faking their playing so they sound just as perfect as 𝙗𝙗𝗚.
Yeah.
Spiro is going to push us further into actually pushing our abilities to be human.
Right. Well, 100%. Yeah.
That is what I was trying to figure out in my head. I was like, how can I word this?
100%. I mean, I love the next generation of guitar players. There's so many great guys, Baxty and all these guys. They always constantly inspire me. Totally. And what the problem is maybe for the next generation, because it was a problem for me when I did a lot more miming, was one that you try to get as well, like the attention and the numbers like these guys are doing, and you're fighting against the algorithm. You're not trying to get better at the instrument anymore. You're just trying to release something as quick as possible so that you can hold on with the algorithm that in a certain way as a content creator really defines your life. And for me, for my example, and I once talked about this in a video of mine, was that as soon as these cameras are on, and so many guitar players have that problem, you may experience as well that our performance abilities are going down like 20% or something.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes.
I hate playing in front of these cameras. I have no problem performing in front of thousands of people or something like that, but performing in front of these cams. And for example, in my case, I know that there is a community of a certain guitar educator who are really after my videos, and they're watching my videos on 25% just to see if there's one note not really in synchronized or something like that. And because I don't know, they don't like me, feel free to watch my videos in 25%, then it gets better retention time. So it's
have you actually experienced that, somebody doing that to you?
I have that. There's a community
Really?
out there who are behind me. Yeah, who are chasing
Ridiculous.
me. Yeah, and trying to figure out if I do wrong notes or whatnot. Yeah.
No, you're the real deal, bro. Hey, anybody watching? This guy's the real deal.
Not all the time. There are videos of mine where I'm not the real deal, I have to admit. But yeah,
the same is true for me, and I plan on making a video about that eventually. So,
but again, you know, like these kids, they see the success of those people as well, and the numbers, and I mean, we all started playing guitar with the dream of becoming a rock star one day. And I think it's so easy to get your stuff out nowadays with social media, but it's so hard to fight against the algorithm. And then, of course, I think the step of saying, let me just pre-record it, then I only have to do it like 1 or 2 or 3 times, and then I have a video done for today, which I can publish. I think, you know, crossing that border is super easy nowadays. And that makes it maybe a little bit of the problem. But I have something where I think miming yourself can also have a good benefit or like a good educational benefit for your playing. Because what I've experienced in miming my stuff, and I sometimes do this when I want to practice certain lines that I have to play live or something like that, I practice miming myself. Because when I have something, for example, that is faster than I'm now capable to play, then by miming myself, I can see later in the video where certain fingers are not lining up with the audio, and I can see where my issues are in this live situation. I can really see like, okay, my ring finger is a little bit too slow in that movement, so I know I have to work on my ring finger going from one string to the next string, or these kind of things. So it really helps to figure out where are the problems in actually playing these kind of licks live. So that's something, that's something where I see like an educational purpose of miming yourself, but only for education, guys, not for getting it out.
I mean, that's the other thing. If you're being honest about it and you're mentioning that it's pre-recorded, to me, that I don't see the issue in that. You know, you're being honest with people at that point. You know, as long as you're making that, you know, it's not like way deep in the comments.
Yeah,
tiny little,
yeah.
You know.
I personally think, because I'm thinking a lot about how can we end this discussion? Because we will always, in the last 10 years, since social media is there, we had this discussion of fake guitar players, of mimers, of what is good, what is not right, and I was thinking like, how can we end this? And I think one solution that I would propose would be like, just be honest with it, just label it. And we as the guitar community also don't see it as something weak. When somebody is miming, he just wants to show you maybe the best audio side of it. Maybe he does not want to record a full record to show himself as a guitar player, but only maybe a short Instagram clip. So let him mime that when he's transparent to it and he is real about this. Why not having the same approach like with the bodybuilding contest, where we know we have the naturals and we have the ones who are taking steroids, but it's clear for everybody, this is the category where people are taking steroids. This is the category where people are natural. And that just to labeling it and being honest with it, I think that could be like a quite good solution for this whole kind of thing. And that we as a community don't see it too negative anymore as well when somebody is miming, as long as he's honest with it. Because that is also something that I saw in certain communities, that people were really like frightened or like scared, like, oh, it's my favorite guitar player by maybe miming and I have to check it out and all these kind of things. And I was thinking like, I was worried that it leads a little bit into a witch hunt or like into a toxic relationship to guitar playing. And there was that one kind of thing there. I would love to hear your opinion about this, where Bradley Hall was releasing a video trying to defend Ichi Kanito, and he took that down because of the negative comments. What kind of, you probably have seen it, right? Or I have noticed that he put something out. What's your opinion on that, for example, and this behavior of the community in the end, also fighting so hard against somebody who's maybe trying to protect an artist or a friend of him or something like that?
Yeah, the whole Bradley thing is a little messy. I actually did watch the video. He had I forget how it worked, but basically somebody that was in my Discord channel had like screen recorded it or something. So I was still able to watch it. Yeah, it was interesting. And I think that, you know, it makes sense for Brad if he's for Bradley if he's, I don't know that he's friends with 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I think it's just the fact that he had just released a video.
Yeah, I mean,
saying that
I
𝗏𝗏𝗏 was at a
wasn't
high skill level.
I was on the tier list. I was on the A list.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I'm on the A
Nice.
definitely. That was a super surprise for me. That was like, oh, thank you, Bradley.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, and I think that's probably, do you remember where he put 𝗏𝗏𝗏?
Also in the A tier, I believe. Because S tier was Rick Graham and
oh yeah, Rick's great.
One guy where Ben something, great guitar player, but I forgot his name. I'm sorry. But 𝗏𝗏𝗏 was at the A tier list as well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's really why, is because he legitimately put 𝗏𝗏𝗏's skill level too high. And so he didn't want to admit that, or admit the fact that, you know, he knew that the skill level was lower, but he put him up there because it's perceived as higher. And I think that's really a lot of it, is like, everybody's like, oh, 𝗏𝗏𝗏's, you know, a really good guitar player. So of course Bradley's going to put him in the really good guitar player slot. And then my video comes out and everybody's like, no, 𝗏𝗏𝗏's not a really great guitar player. He's a little bit more average than we thought. But then, you know, Brad would have to, you know, revise his list, and, you know, that's all messy. So he's going to put out a video being like, yeah, screw that. It doesn't even matter. You know, the whole thing that Jacobra guy is talking about it's stupid anyways. Who cares? You know, so that's kind of how I viewed the whole thing. I don't really, I messaged him about it. You know, I didn't take any personal offense to it. I just was like, you should have left the video up. I was like, why'd you take the video down? And he was like, yeah, he was just like, I just didn't want to, you know, take a bullet for that guy. It was basically what it was. I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, the whole labeling thing. I think you made a good point, and this is something I've thought about too, is the fact that somebody mimed is not inherently bad. The miming is not the issue to me. The lying and the dishonesty, the deceit, that is the issue. If you're being honest about it, I actually don't think there should be negative stigma around miming, as long as you're honest about it.
Yeah.
To me, the whole thing is honesty. And that's where it gets tripped up. You know, miming right now is associated with dishonesty. And so that's why it has the bad rap. But if people start labeling their videos as mimed, and we don't demonize them for saying that it's mimed, that's a good move. I think that is how we move forward. And then when we want something real, we can actually hear something real and not have to go, is it? You know, we don't have to do this annoying thing of like, I don't even know, you know?
Yeah. And maybe that the specific artists have a good balance out of things that are pre-produced, pre-recorded, and are perfectly audio-wise, but also like have videos out there where they're playing live, where you can see the humanity of playing live. And I also liked, for example, when people are just, you know, showing first takes where certain things happen and are wrong, or like the gear is not working and how to deal with these kind of things, showing that music is something that happened in a live scenario, and that it's absolutely human when certain things does not work on a specific level. Yeah, and that because everybody, that I know so many fucking great guitar players, and I know that everybody would say to himself, oh, there's so much to improve, and I'm not perfect here on that and that. And I think also idealizing from the community certain guitar players, like, oh, he's the best guitar player, he can play everything. When somebody is saying this about me or to me, I say to them, no, are you drunk? Because I don't want that, because then it is again so easy to disappoint them, because I don't play everything correct, you know, nobody does, and I think we have to accept that.
Oh, I have so much anxiety before I play a show. I practice like every day for a week, for like hours each day. I'm like, because it's that same thing. I know, you know, I notice every little mistake that I make, and I feel because I'm criticizing guitar players that people are going to be extra critical of me. And I haven't really experienced that. Like, there's nobody after a show that's come up to me and be like, dude, that was shit. You know,
you were miming, dude.
Right. That I've gotten a lot. I've gotten so many people making miming jokes after I play a show. You were miming, you know. To touch on the thing you were saying about these kind of younger, it seems like the younger generation that's like scared about like, oh, but is my favorite guitar player miming? That's where I think you don't need to be scared about the miming. You just need to think, are they being honest about it? Can you find videos of them actually playing live?
Yeah.
If you think about Davin Glover, he said that he wants to be, you know, looked at as more of like a beat producer. Now, if that's true, if that's genuinely true, then it wouldn't even matter if he mimed, because then it's like, well, that's not, you know, that's not the goal. Don't look at him as like, oh, I want to play guitar like that. Just say, oh, I want to make beats like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's like a shift in kind of like your perception of the person. It doesn't need to have a negative stigma attached to it, I think is the main thing. And it's really just all about being honest. And then there was something else towards the end that there was another question that you were asking
with Bradley, with the Bradley video.
Oh, Bradley. Yes. Yeah. Okay. The Bradley thing is interesting. Okay, so I've known Charles because I toured with him back in the day. I used to play in this band called I Declare War, and he used to play in this band called Reflections, and Reflections opened a tour that we were on. So we did like a tour together, but we didn't really talk. It was kind of one of those things where you don't talk to everybody on the tour. You talk to certain people. You make friends with certain people. You don't make friends with everyone usually. Yeah. So it's one of those, you know, we passed by each other. We were, you know, acquaintances, but so I'm not like friends with him, but at the same time, I feel like we came up in the music scene together. We both experienced success in the metal music scene together. And we were both young because when I was in I Declare War, I was like 20, 21. And all the rest of the guys were like late 20s. And Charles was also young at the same time. So I was young, he was young. And so it was cool that we, you know, two younger guys being successful. So I do kind of have this like camaraderie with him, I guess, is what I feel like. Even though we don't communicate really until this whole thing. So because of that, people, there's been a couple of people that have noted that I've went a little easy on Buried Alive. And I think that's partially true. I think that's honestly just part of my bias. I do kind of look at the whole thing because I've seen it from the beginning, because I've actually watched the Buried Alive thing from the beginning. You know, Giacomo, I didn't follow him before he started doing this whole faking thing. You know, all these different guitarists, I don't think any of them I followed before, you know, before this. So I do have like a little bit of bias there, and I am trying to be mindful of it. But if you noticed in this interview, I have mentioned that his whole response video with the AI prompt was bullshit. So even that, I will say, I don't like that. It was weird.
And one thing that I also see, which I'm kind of worried about, is then that the perception, or like how people are perceiving guitar playing on social media, and then the reality in the live scenario, that they kind of sometimes forget that the live scenario is not as good as on Instagram or social media. And I, for example, experienced that a lot with my good friend Christian Münzner. He used to play Necrophagus back in the day and Obscure and all these bands. And he has he is the G, yeah.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah. And he has focal dystonia. So his middle finger is not moving anymore in the specific way where he wants to move it. We made a whole video about this as well. But then he was playing again with Obscura. And in live scenarios, I mean, the shows, especially in the States, they can be quite messy, can be extremely cold. It was in February, that one tour, so it was really cold, and you don't have much time to warm up, maybe. You don't have much time to get enough sleep, to get enough rest. And especially with this kind of technical level, or this kind of music, which is on this high technical level, it's super important that you have good sleep and good resting time and all these kind of things. And people are seeing him live, and after that complaining in the YouTube videos like, oh, he was playing like shit and blah, 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 and whatnot. It was not like in the record, etc. And there I think, that is potentially danger because the people don't see what is behind playing live sometimes because of they are only used to the social media stuff, probably. Yeah.
That is a great point. You know, I don't think that really happened when we just had perfect recordings. When
Yeah, because
you
people
know,
knew live is live.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. So it's been a shift. That's been a shift. It's like, and I'll get comments on my videos. It's like, dude, have you never heard a studio recording? Which is ironic because I am a producer, but you know, it's like that. But there's a huge difference there, and you just made a fantastic point. That is a great point. And I see this even online, but that's live. I mean, the fact that that's bleeding over into live sucks even more. When you go see a band live, you're not even thinking about those little things. If you hear a guitarist mess up, you think about it for 0.5 seconds, and then you go on to watching the show, right? It's no big deal at all. And part of, playing live is you're dealing with the reverb in the room and like just non-ideal listening scenarios, right? Where little things you're not hearing as much. And you're hearing two guitar players instead of one. So you're hearing, their different performances and mess ups being blended into one that doesn't have the same performance and mess ups.
Especially when the other guitar player in Obscure is messing up so much. So,
ooh, shots fired.
Hey, I have my little feud with him. He tried to bring my YouTube channel down, so I have a little feud with him. Yeah.
That guy's a piece of work.
Yeah.
Anyways, then that's such a huge bummer. Because I want to see live performances. I want to see people really perform. I hate the whole playing to a backtrack thing. I just think it feels so fake. And like, why did I pay my money? Why am I even watching this right now? I'll just go watch the music video. It looks cooler, But you see it on. So I mean, the fact that that's bleeding over to like a live recorded video, like, wow, he sounds bad live. Unfortunate. And there's also just when somebody posts an actual live clip of them playing, like maybe it is just the bedroom recording of their phone, and they're just actually playing. And there is little mess ups in that. I post shit like that. People in the comments, wow, you should have faked this. You should have just mimed this. It would sound so much better. It's like, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
You just want everything to be fake all the time. It's like, we don't really want that, guys.
I think it is important to know what do you want or what do you want to have out there from your kind of artistic side. And when I say, for example, I released last week a video where I just was jamming and certain things were not working. My cat was meowing in the background and my guitar, all of a sudden, the volume knob was not working anymore and it didn't have a lot of gain in one section. And I kind of liked that. And I thought to myself, hey, I want to get that out there because I want to tell the people, be yourself, be real, be these kind of things. And I think then when people would say like, next time better mime it or better pre-record it, I think for myself, okay, fuck you, because that's not my artistic vision that I want to get out there. Yeah,
exactly. Nope. And a lot of times I'll reply to the, and I really try not to reply to I'm pretty bad. I reply to a lot of comments, but on the hate comments, I specifically tried not to dive into them.
Oh, there's this really cool function on YouTube. I've realized it a couple of weeks ago, and there I absolutely fell in love with, where you can hide users from your channel so that they still can write comments, they still can talk bullshit, but nobody will see this. And I absolutely love this kind of. Does? Yeah, that is the best function ever on YouTube.
Yeah. Because I've done that to one person.
Yeah. Because it's not, blocking or deleting comments. It's just that nobody will see them, and they will think like, hey, I'm writing my best. Oh, I shouldn't talk that now here. And
I like that, dude. I like that.
They will now know my secret. No.
That's a good one. Yeah, sometimes I'll reply and I'll be like, you know what? You're literally just used to the sound of fake guitar. Yeah. This is what actual real guitar sounds like.
Yeah.
Welcome to what real guitar sounds like. You know what? And I mean, look, if fake sounds better and that's all that we're gonna do, I mean, eventually just MIDI everything, why even MIDI it? Just AI it. Just put in a prompt. Yeah. There's this level that you can get to. It's like, what are we doing here? what's the point anymore? Yeah, are you just trying to make money? Is that, I mean, yeah, just do it. Just do your whole fake thing.
But I think in the future,
yeah,
people, because of the whole AI kind of thing and everything sounded so perfectly, etc., people will appreciate more and more the true stuff and the real stuff. And I think this is probably maybe the good thing about this, that more and more people will value the realness of something. It's like with food, you know, all the fakers and all the AI stuff, that's the McDonald's of food. And playing real life, it's like the 5-star chef who's doing a really good steak or something like that.
People, or something.
Yeah, people will really appreciate that more and more and more. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right, because it'll be like this initial, you know, there's this initial backlash for the real playing of just, it's because everybody's so accustomed to this fake. But if we just keep on putting it out, ignore the hate comments, keep on putting out real audio, we can change things, and we can make it so that people actually admire real guitar playing again.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Jacob, for being on this channel. Thank you for watching through this video. I hope you liked this little video. I hope 1 hour long. I hope I'm going to see you in my next video. I wish you a lot of fun learning, practicing, and mastering the guitar. Cheers, and power your progress.